Inside Michigan basketball, delivered by UPS. It was a week in which Michigan saw red. First a road game in Columbus against the Buckeyes, and then a home tilt against Wisconsin. While going into Value City Arena against Ohio State, Michigan was closing out a 5-game in 13-day stretch and trying to do something that they haven't done since 2003, get a roadkill in Buckeye land.
Willpower. You know what willpower is? Amazing things happen with willpower. And when you walk into a game with this willpower, anything can happen. You go into life with any type of habit. So there's this thing of willing things to happen. You're not going to accept it. You went up to Michigan State and you willed that baby. There was nothing stopping you to be able to do that. This is the exact. We went to Wisconsin, similar thing. This is another one of those opportunities. Right? On offense right now, where the biggest thing is believe in yourself. Right, I watched this team go and win 4 of the toughest road places in the country and go win. You get smacked in the mouth one time, well, that happens. This team, you got to understand, that ain't happening tonight. It's not going to happen again. You got to go after them. This is it. You just go out there with this idea, we're winning tonight. We're winning tonight. We're winning tonight. Beat Ohio.
The game started like two heavyweights trading uppercuts, with Michigan getting a 3 from Nick Stauskas and a stick back from Glenn Robinson.
Step back jumper from 18 rimmed out from the same spot, got his own rebound, took it strong inside and laid it in.
But with the game tied at 5 early, the Buckeyes went on a 6-0 run on back-to-back jams from Sam Thompson and LaQuinton Ross.
Left side for Smith. Smith to Ross, middle of the lane, and a stop.
Ross kept it going throughout the half, hitting his first 5 shots, inside and outside, against multiple defenders, and Ohio State built a 9-point advantage. Michigan got a little closer on a Zach Irvin triple and Jordan Morgan stick back.
Albrecht thought about the 3. Instead, he'll scoop off the high glass. No, tapped in by Morgan.
Ohio State would climb back in front by 10 before a Stauskas triple and then John Horford hook shot that brought U of M within 5. The Wolverines got even closer after a tough defensive stop and a huge 3 from Caris LeVert.
30 seconds to go in the half. Walton left side, LeVert wide open for 3. Ring it up! Just when you thought they were down, Michigan climbs right back into it. They're within 2.
They held the Buckeyes without a field goal in the final 6 minutes and 25 seconds of the half and trailed by only 4 at the break. Nick Stauskas opened the second half with a 3, and U of M was quickly within 1. But Ohio State's defense led to a 7-0 run to seize control.
Michigan in his zone defense now. LaQuinton Ross, hop step, fadeaway jumper, good.
Michigan, though, would not cave. Big plays at both ends by Caris LeVert and Derek Walton, able to turn the tables on the Buckeyes and force Michigan into a 49-43 lead.
Works around a Horford screen, takes it inside with a right-handed layup, yes, and 1!
Walton would finish with his first career double-double. Michigan would extend their lead to 10, and when Ohio State made their desperation push, Glenn Robinson hit the shot of the night for the Wolverines.
LeVert around the screen from Horford. Hop step, tosses right corner. Robinson for 3. Give me that! From the right side, Glenn Robinson.
Michigan would win it by 10, 70-60 for their first win in Columbus since January of 2003 and improved to a conference best 10-2.
That was a team that was connected through the whole game. Everybody had big finishes. Right? Everybody had big stops and big rebounds. Guess who had 10 rebounds tonight? Hey. And rebounds. Great job. 6 assists, 1 turnover, right?
It's very special.
Back-to-back games, scoring 6 assists, 1 turnover.
Wow. That's very, very special.
How did it feel to have your first career double-double?
I honestly didn't pay attention to it. I was kind of, keen on each possession. And so it happened at the end of the game, I had that, stat line. So, it's a great individual feeling, but it's even better feeling that we came out to win.
You were down by 10. How did you swing the momentum?
We weren't hitting shots like we usually do in the beginning of the game. So we know those, shots will start falling, and the defense intensity will have to step up for us. And as you know, our best offense is transition. So we got out in transition, got a couple easy baskets, rhythm started flowing, and we just, play Michigan basketball.
To win in places like where you've won, the Kohl Center, the Breslin Center, and now here at Value City Arena, says an awful lot about the toughness mentally and physically about this ball club, doesn't it?
No doubt, and it all comes from, proper preparation. Our coaches get us ready, physically, mentally, being there for each other, giving each other courage to go into these hostile environments and, come out successful. It's the type of things that you need to do when you're having, when you want championship seasons, and, that's what we're on track for.
Well, your club played 5 games in 13 days, and yet you come out above 500. That says an awful lot about your squad, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're really pleased with that. I mean, it was 3 games on the road, and 2 really good teams that are tough to win at, between being in Iowa, being in Indiana, and now coming here. So huge for us to come away with this win. Just one more win, as we fight for this championship. It's really important. We got to finish strong.
Just an incredible road warrior type mentality for your club to win at Wisconsin, win at Michigan State, win here. What was the difference in the second half for your ball?
Our kids, the Ohio State really guards you. And I think it takes a little while to adjust and say, wait a minute, this guy is in my face and he's going to be here all game long. And I just got to get used to it, and I got to still perform. And we did. The more we got used to it, the more we executed. It was really good.
You're always a positive guy, but at halftime you went in there and you said, we're going to win this game. What made you think that?
I just really felt these kids really needed to know today that we had unbelievable confidence that we're going to win this game. We got hit right between the eyes at Iowa. I mean, and sometimes that sobers you up, and it gets you to the point where you just say, hey, I got to get better. Sometimes it puts you into a little bit of a mode where you're fearing failure, and we could not give them that today. So it's all we talked about. We're winning this game. There's just nothing. We are going to win this game.
They had held 15 of the previous 18 Big Ten opponents under 70 points, and yet you score 70. But really, it was your defense that triggered the turnaround in the second half, wasn't it?
Yeah, defense in the second half was terrific. And, it was one of those games where we had to have great position defense. We had to make them shoot shots, that they don't like taking, and try and load up on Ross as much as we could, and we were able to do them all.
Derek Walton was phenomenal, but the big shot of the night might have been from Glenn Robinson, who had struggled with his outside stroke. What made you go back to it?
Well, I think it was a defensive reason, really, because Ross, they were just going to pick on Zach Irvin there, and he's actually a really good defender, but Ross, a year older, a little bit cagier. We were at the stage where we were going to ready to double team him, and then I said, the heck with it, Glenn's been resting here, let's put him back in here, and what a huge shot that was for him.
Congratulations.
All right, thanks, Matt.
Stay with us a little bit later on. A Michigan basketball legend is honored. But when we come back, the Wolverines go for a season series sweep of the Wisconsin Badgers. Inside Michigan Basketball, delivered by UPS, is brought to you in part by the University of Michigan, C.S. Mott Children's Hospital, and by Absol Pure Water, the official bottled water of the Michigan Wolverines. The Badgers came in on a roll, a 3-game winning streak for Bo Ryan and company, their 20th win now in 11 of the last 13 years, and they looked focused and looking for revenge as well. They hit 6 of their first 7 shots, with center Frank Kaminsky battering the Wolverines inside and Josh Gosser keeping them honest from downtown.
Jackson drives on LeVert, a kick out right side. Gosser for 3 good. Josh Gosser has a pair of triples early on.
Michigan tried to answer with Karis LeVert, who hit a 3 to get the Wolverines a little closer. But the Badgers answered emphatically with Ben Brust, hitting 3s and runners.
Brust, jab step, now fires for 3 and knocks it home from the left wing. Ben Brust now with 7 points.
Kaminsky couldn't be stopped, scoring 8 points and grabbing 7 rebounds early on. He would add 2 more caroms before the break. The Badgers ended up leading by 15 at the half, holding U of M without an assist, forcing 7 turnovers, and winning the Battle of the Glass 20-15. The Badgers maintained their double-digit lead to start the second half before Michigan went on a 7-0 run behind a LeVert triple and Glenn Robinson jumper.
LeVert, straightaway 3, got it. Robinson, a pull-up jumper from 18, bingo.
Michigan would scratch and claw to within 5 on the strength of LeVert's career-high 25 points.
Yo-yos the dribble, takes it all the way inside, scoops with a left hand, and it crawled down.
But Wisconsin would answer with a 9-1 run, steered by Kaminsky, who was too tough down the stretch, cleaning up inside, boasting his first double-double of the year.
To Kaminsky, left mid-post, turns, hooks, yes, and 1.
He would finish with 25 points and 11 rebounds. The Badgers pull away in a 75-62 final to salvage a series split and claim their 13th win in their last 15 tries in the series. Well, Coach, you told me earlier this week on your radio show, look, just because we beat Wisconsin at the Kohl Center earlier this year doesn't guarantee anything here in our barn against them. They came out, they were focused and ready from the get-go.
They're really good. I give a lot of credit to them. You know, in discussion with the media right now, well, your team didn't play hard. No, we played hard. Wisconsin played a little harder. We played smart at times. Wisconsin played a little smarter. And they are a good team. They were, they went 16-0 in non-conference, played a really tough schedule. So, that's what's going to happen. We had to play really well. We didn't.
They are also 6-2 against top 25 teams now. Nobody in the country has more wins than Bo Ryan's club over top 25 competition. Karis LeVert came out. He tried his best to carry it. Second half, you guys get to within 5, a lot because of his career high numbers.
It's so positive to have that third or fourth guy out there that can score for us. And that's huge. We can look to him. We can go to him. He's been a great, his progress has been tremendous with us. And we got to just continue to work with him and work with him to just, you make him a bit of a guy that people have to try to answer all the time, because it will get our other guys much more open as well.
In the first meeting, you did a really good job on Frank Kaminsky inside man-to-man defense. This time, he had this first double-double.
No, he was terrific. We had no answer for him. We stayed. The challenge with them is he's a good passer too. So if you double off of him, you're probably giving a step-in 3 to a really good shooter. So make him beat us with 2s. But he wasn't this good at Madison. He was terrific today.
What was the biggest difference in the second half in taking care of the basketball? Yeah. You only had 9 turnovers for the game, which looks really good, but you had 7 in the first half.
7 was bad. We didn't play well in the first half, and credit Wisconsin for that. They did a great job of defending us, and we whether we were antsy, whether we were slow thinking, I don't know what it was, but we just were not very good with the ball in the first half. And we still might not have been able to win the game. I mean, they beat us soundly. Not many people beat us from here. So maybe we handle the ball better in the first half and we lose a close one. It's 0-1 in the league. It's 10-3 in the league. That's all it is.
Yeah, just the second home loss for you this season, and just the 10th over the last 4 years. Now you will use this week to get ready for Michigan State. Now, your team is coming off 5 games in 13 days, now 2-12. How much of a factor is that, do you think?
Well, yeah, you never can tell. I look at these situations that it's really difficult when you're coming off that amount of time. It's tough to win again. At the same time, we had a pretty good rhythm, and now we're going to take some time and retool. But whatever it is what it is. We just got to get better this week. Pick our spots to get better. Pick our spots to get better versus a Michigan State team, and find a way to get it done next week.
All right, first go around, you beat the Spartans by 5. They did not have Adrian Payne. How much of a difference maker is that big fella?
Well, he's a really good player. I got a chance to coach him this summer, and he's a very talented player. He plays. What he does is challenge you. He's not just an inside player. He can score off the block like Kaminsky, but he can shoot threes probably better than Kaminsky. He's a tremendous rebounder and athlete, so that adds a lot to their team.
How much does it help that, I mean, obviously you're up for every single game, but it really helps when these two teams are the two best teams, at least for the regular season title right now, as you jockey for position with plenty of time still left to start.
Yeah, without question. This is really good that at this point on this day we're both in first place, or now I guess we're a half game out with them playing Nebraska this afternoon. So, I mean, either way, we have to, you're going to have to beat Michigan State if you want to win this championship. I mean, and they are good, and they should be good. They got a great coach, and they got almost everybody back from last year's team. So they're really good, and we're going to have to play better than we did tonight. I guarantee you that.
When we come back, the Al Rose Steel Ironman of the Week to perhaps the most improved player in the Big Ten. And Coffee with the Coach is right around the corner. Our Al Rose Steel Ironman of the Week, sophomore Karis LeVert. He set a new career high with 25 points in the loss to Wisconsin, in which he hit 5 of his 6 three-pointers attempted. Also had 9 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal in the win at Ohio State. Karis LeVert, our Al Rose Steel Ironman of the Week. Coffee with the Coach, presented by Tim Hortons. Today's question, Coach, is from Kevin from Jackson, Michigan. I love the character of your teams. What personal attributes do you look for in high school players when you recruit them?
It's pretty simple. We're looking for really good teammates. You know, we do the whole thing. We talk to the coach, try to talk to the guidance counselor, talk with the other teachers. You can find out a lot about a young man just by talking to the people around him. So you get really high character kids. That's one. There's a lot of maintenance with any 18 to 22-year-old. There's less maintenance if they have high character.
Also have to have a high, not just an IQ, but a basketball IQ because of the system you run, right?
We would like to have that. I mean, you never know, though. I mean, Matt, a guy's SAT score may not tell you what his basketball IQ is. We try to sort that out. The truth is, a lot of times we're right. Sometimes it takes them more time just to pick up simple things. We try to work through all of it.
Welcome back. The Michigan women were trying to stay above 500, looking for the season series sweep against the Fighting Illini. This time they'd have to do it on the road in Champaign-Urbana, and our Sarah Van Meter was there.
The story for the Wolverines Sunday was junior Saisha Goree, who scored 30 points and grabbed 19 rebounds, lead Michigan to a 70-63 win over the Illini. Goree made 12 of her 15 shots, and 12 of her 19 rebounds came on the offensive end of the court.
It feels pretty good, especially because we got the win. I just want to thank my teammates and credit my teammates for looking inside, giving me the ball, and luckily I was able to finish and come out with a good outcome.
She was just incredible. I mean, she came out all over the place, did a great job on the offensive glass, and I think her teammates did a great job of finding her as well. And that was really a point of emphasis for us going in. We knew we were going to have a size advantage, but Saisha has an incredible motor on the offensive end, and she really goes after the ball, and just her growth, and I'm just so proud of the player that she's become.
Freshman guard Sierra Thompson scored 11 points, and junior guard Shannon Smith added 10 as the Wolverines swept the season series against Illinois. Michigan is now 8-1 in road games this season. They've won 5 of 6 Big Ten road games, and they get a chance at conference win number 6 on the road when they take on Indiana on Wednesday. The Wolverines return to Chrysler Center on Saturday for an afternoon game against Iowa. For Inside Michigan Basketball, I'm Sarah Van Meter.
All right, Sarah, thanks. Gary Grant, when he played for the Wolverines in the mid to late 80s, was best known for his defense and his leadership. On Sunday, he was given the Wolverines' highest honor. We recap it after this. Inside Michigan Basketball, delivered by UPS. Let UPS put the power of logistics to work for you. Thanks for staying with us. Despite the Sunday afternoon loss to Wisconsin at Chrysler Center, it still was a very special Sunday. Why? Well, because one of Michigan's all-time greatest players in basketball history was back. Gary Grant, number 4 all-time in scoring, number 1 all-time in steals and assists, was here to be honored. And Doug Karsch caught up with him.
Grant, known as the General, looked around Chrysler Center and could hardly believe his eyes.
Wow, it's amazing. I walked around, seen all of the improvements. You know, Dave Brandy did a great job. Coach Beilein has got them right up on top again. And this is, like I said, it's a wonderful place to be, and I'm glad for Go Blue.
Inducted with football's Mark Messner and cross country and track's Katie McGregor, Grant was thrilled to be honored.
It was just an amazing thing. I don't know if I can believe it or not, leaving Ohio, but this is the best place to be. It was a great decision for me. University of Michigan fan base is tremendously accepting, and I really love to be in here.
One of the highlights for Grant on his return to Ann Arbor, the opportunity to speak to the current group of Wolverines.
I talked to him yesterday, and I just told him just play with heart. Play with heart and try to play as best you can. Take one game at a time and see what happens.
Grant watched the 2013 NCAA title game with a group of alums at a gathering in California and thinks this year's team could duplicate last year's run.
They move the ball around. Today, obviously, they're not playing as well yet, but once they get their field goal, they'll be all right, and I love their chemistry, and I think they're going to do well in the NCAA tournament.
All right, Doug, thanks. That'll do it for this week's edition of Inside Michigan Basketball. Next week, there's only one game we pay attention to. The Wolverines have all week to get ready for the Michigan State Spartans. They'll be here at Chrysler Center. Bragging rights on the line. The top seed in the Big Ten regular season on the line. And Michigan tries to broom away MSU right here in Ann Arbor. Until then, have a great week, everybody, and go blue.